Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Tombstone TV. Your opening match is set for one fall. Introducing first, Travis the Savage Sanchez. Hosts this opening battle. This is going to be a qualification matchup for the Contenders match on next week's episode 24 of Tombstone TV. The winner of this upcoming bout moves into that 10-man Contenders matchup. The winner of that match will become the number one contender for the CWS World's Heavyweight Championship. We already know that Killian Curse, Cara Del Diablo, Darryl Walker, St. James Park, Marshall Harts, and Prince Toro have already qualified for this matchup. Who is going to be Travis's opponent tonight? Folks, of course, it's beautiful Bruno Bravo. These two have been at loggerheads for months here at CWS. Beautiful Bruno Bravo, deceptively agile technical wrestler, has been able to best Travis on a few occasions, but when it comes to an out-and-out fight, it's been Travis who's been getting the W's. Of course, it would come down to these two, and again, only one man can progress to that qualification matchup, that Contenders match on next week's episode. You know, beautiful Bruno Bravo would love to be in that matchup. You know, Travis has been in a few as well. Neither man has contended for singles gold in one-on-one fashion here at CWS. You know, beautiful Bruno Bravo keeps saying he leaves his midriff exposed to highlight the absence of gold around that waist. And we know that Travis the Savage Sanchez has had gold in boxing companies around the world, yet to have one in wrestling. And here we go, folks, the bell has rung. Welcome to Tombstone TV. Look at Travis taking beautiful Bruno down. You're listening to the voice of Bullet Bun. Awesome. I am BBA. I am the host, the announcer, the play-by-play, the commentator for Tombstone TV and for Championship Wrestling Series. And I am alongside my two friends and colleagues, my confidants. On my left here is Sean Shaunerson. Sean, do you want to say something? Interesting point, Sean. I hadn't thought of it like that. And to my right is Carl Briscoe Regan. Briscoe, how do you feel about this contest, this back and forth again between Travis and Bruno? Do you think this is ever going to come to an end? Or are we going to get to see these guys face off against each other again and again for the rest of time? What do you think? That is some very insightful thoughts right there, Briscoe. Look at this ground and pound offense. Travis unleashing these right hands of fury onto beautiful Bruno Bravo. And now stretching away at the arm. You can see week after week, folks, Travis is becoming less and less the boxer and more the wrestler. And as I say it, again, he unleashes fury with that big right hand and a cover one and a kick out at one by beautiful Bruno Bravo. He's not going to go down like that. Travis, again, just punching away at the face. It is his biggest strength, like there's no doubt about it. His size. Look at the discus punch caught, and Bruno fighting back with a right hand of his own, goes for that takedown, and that has worked every time before against Travis, but this time he had it scouted and prevented it from taking full effect. Travis is becoming more and more the wrestler as the weeks and months go by. We know that Travis is under the tutelage of Marshall Harts, who interestingly has already qualified for the Contenders matchup next week. And Travis up to the top rope. We rarely see this. Travis from the top with double axes from the top rope, taking beautiful Bruno Bravo down. And we've got the best seat in the house. Right, Briscoe? Sean Shaunerson, what do you think? I agree. Briscoe, again, very insightful. Referees count up to 3 now. Counting out Travis the Savage Sanchez up to 4 before Travis gets back into the ring. Gave beautiful Bruno enough time to think they had the time to taunt, and Travis snucks right in behind. Bit of a miscommunication there, it seems. Look at this. Travis just manhandling beautiful Bruno Bravo, who manages to flip it right back. Oh, and now Bruno with the step through. Bruno, look at the technical prowess here, and Bruno stomping the head of Travis the Savage Sanchez. We've seen that move KO people in the past, folks. And look at this, leaping into the air. That forearm just took down beautiful Bruno Bravo. It might not have been the right hook that Travis likes to use, but he's still got all the power of the shoulder, all the size advantage, that weight. And look at this, a vicious knee to the face. You wouldn't get that in a boxing ring. Travis now dragging the somewhat lifeless body of Bruno around, but it was enough to let Bruno stir. And now Bruno with the gut punch. Bruno uppercut. Travis is on the ropes, folks. And now again, Bruno using these ropes to his advantage, just rocking a hard place for Travis Sanchez. Bouncing back and forth into those elbows, and now eats a stomp across the face. Bruno looks like he's going to try to lock in the crossface in the center of the ring. He's got that locked in beautifully, and Travis the Savage Sanchez either taps or fights out. What's it going to be? He's fought out of it, folks. Look at this ground and pound again. These guys know each other so well, and this time it's Travis who takes Bruno down. And the discus punch this time connects. That's it, folks. We've got a 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Beautiful Bruno Bravo survived the discus punch of Travis the Savage Sanchez. That vicious right hand that has ended men in the past. We've seen that not just in wrestling, but in the world of boxing as well. And now Travis, he knows he just needs to pin Bruno down for 3. And look at this, Bruno's now in the crossface position himself. Travis applying submission maneuvers, and he's done it. Oh my God, folks. Beautiful Bruno Bravo just tapped out. Travis the Savage Sanchez just made beautiful Bruno Bravo tap out. Normally Bruno is the one who gets the technical wins in these matches. Travis the Savage Sanchez just out-wrestled beautiful Bruno Bravo. And Travis now, what a lack of respect he's got for Bruno. He's telling him, get out of my ring. I can't even repeat some of the words I just heard leave Travis's face. Travis has beaten Bruno in cage matches, rarely in wrestling matches, but he just beat beautiful Bruno Bravo at his own game. And now Travis has qualified for the Contenders match, folks. Travis will be on episode 24, hoping that he can be the one to outlast 9 other men and become the #1 contender for Major Attractions World Heavyweight Championship, to go to the main event of the first pay-per-view of 2024 for us here at Championship Wrestling Series. This is the end of part 1. I've been Bullet Von Awesome. I hope you return for part 2, where we will have 2 more men compete against each other, hoping to qualify for that Contenders matchup. Let's see who they are. Come back for part 2. Welcome back to part 2 of episode 23, Tombstone TV. We have the 8th qualifying matchup for the Contenders match for Contender 6, folks. And introducing the first competitor in this matchup, hoping to qualify for Contender 6 with a brand new look here, representing the Cosmic Alliance. Folks, this is Ozone. Ozone hoping to qualify for Contender 6 on episode 24, where we will have a 10-man matchup, the winner of which, the last man who survives, will go on to face Major Attraction at the Stadium Royale for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Are we looking at the newest #1 contender for the CWS World's title? Or will his opponent be the one to qualify? Speaking of which, who is the opponent for Ozone tonight? Oh, folks, we've got Ozone in a new look, and it looks like we've got this man in an old one. Let me introduce you to the president of the Grim Reapers. This is Wrench. Wrench with no Reapers beside him, it seems today, which is unusual. Normally Wrench would have Jackson, Gage, Harris, Tommy, Torque, Thompson, Ratchet, Riley Rose, maybe even the latest prospect of Yamamoto / Motor. We saw Motor and Tommy Torque Thompson be successful last week in their first ever tag outing. They're going to move on to next week's episode for the #1 contenders match for the CWS World Tag Team Championships. But this will be an interesting matchup right here. Let's not run away with ourselves. First, we got to get through Ozone versus Wrench M. Look at the size of these two men. Straight away the bell rings and Wrench just grabs the head of Ozone, drives the right fist into the face, and are dragging him over to the ropes. Wrench now lifting Ozone with ease. Ozone, such a large man, but has found ways. It's almost as if gravity has forgotten all about Ozone. Ozone is one of the most athletic guys we have here. Not that he looks it. Look at Wrench just bullying Ozone, dragging his face across the top rope here. But Ozone managing to fight his way out. He's not to be discounted. Ozone is a credit to himself. Look at this, and a DDT. Ozone taking Wrench down, and now Ozone looking to fly, climbing up to that top rope, folks. Waiting for Wrench to get to his feet, and Ozone just drops down. Maybe Wrench was just a little too far out of his reach. Ozone whipping Wrench into that turnbuckle and following up with a big splash in the corner, and Wrench goes down. The power of Ozone to take Wrench off of his feet, and look at this, a gut punch. Whip into the ropes, and Ozone again with another giant splash, using all of that size to take Wrench down. One, and a kick out at one. Wrench still in this thing. And now it looks like, oh my god, look how easy Wrench is able to hoist Ozone into the air like that. And now a suplex. Not many men could suplex Ozone. And Wrench just absolutely manhandling Ozone here. Just dropped him face first over that top turnbuckle. Snake eyes, and now stomping on the back of the head. Wrench looking a little rougher and tougher, a bit meaner than we're used to seeing him. Sporting his old vicious look. I had heard rumblings backstage that the Reapers were saying that Wrench had kind of lost touch with himself. He's dressing in black and gold. It's not really the Reapers' colors. It's nice to see Wrench back in the black and white of the Grim Reapers, the traditional colors that you would associate with the biker gang. And look at that, Ozone just taking Wrench down. And now out on the floor, and Ozone just taken out by Wrench. Wrench taking the time to taunt the crowd, and Ozone sneaks up behind him. He's gripped him around the waist, and look at this, a spike across the throat, and now an elbow. All that weight of Ozone, and again another elbow across the gut of Wrench. Referees count up to 4. Ozone whips Wrench back into the ring and now follows in himself. Ozone is a freakish athlete. Look at these gut punches, a right hand, a kick, and another DDT. Anything that Ozone needs to do to take Wrench down to the floor. And now it's Ozone climbing up to the second rope. And from the second rope, a double axe handle connects with the head of Wrench, and he's down one. Kick out at 1. Ozone representing the Cosmic Alliance. Wouldn't they love to see a member of the Cosmic Alliance in the main event? This is the first step on that path. No doubt the Reapers want to see Wrench in that main event. And now Ozone from that second rope. Oh, but Wrench get the knees up. Got the knees up on that splash, taking the wind out of Ozone, and now a right hand to the top of the head. Wrench taking advantage of this momentum, and look at this, another right hand, and it looks to me like Ozone might be bleeding, folks. Bust open from that right hand. You can see that big ring that Wrench wears on his fist. I don't know how that's legal. And now look at Wrench at the leg of Ozone. Is Ozone going to be forced to tap? We've already seen one submission victory here tonight, folks. But no, it looks like Ozone is getting out of this one. And look at that, a right hand. He answers back to a Wrench with the right hand. Both men up to their feet. Ozone in control now. Another gut punch trying to take away the wind of Wrench. And look at that, a shoulder tackle. He just shoulder tackled Wrench over the top rope and outside to the floor where this thing is filled. Me and my friends Carl Briscoe Regan and Sean Shaughnessy with the best seats in the house to see that landing. Wrench now just caught Ozone by the head, and look at this. Oh my god, he just threw him, manipulating him, just launched him into the sky. Ozone back to where he came from. Space. And now a 1, 2, 3, folks. That is all it takes. When Wrench catches you by the head and throws you into the sky, there's not much you can do about that. Wrench, the president of the Grim Reapers, the leader of the Reapers, just qualified. And he is surely a strong favorite as a previous winner of Contenders match. Wrench might be that guy to go on to face Major Attraction at Stadium Royale, but we'll find out next week if it is his lucky day or not. We have one more Contenders match coming up, folks. A qualification match. 2 more men will compete. Winner will be the 9th entrant into that Contenders matchup, and we know there will be one mystery man on the night as well. We also have a number 1 contender for the Women's Tag Team Championships. That match has to come up here later on. The Lord's Angels, Grace and Fates take on Beach Force. We have a triple threat match as well. Another Intercontinental qualifier. We have a Women's Battle Royal qualifier happening later. And we have a tag team matchup for your men's main event. Winner of that will go on to next week's episode for a number 1 contenders match for the tag team titles, where they will have to go up against the Grim Reapers. There's so much more to come on tonight's episode of Tombstone TV. Please come back for part 3. This is part 3 of episode 23 of Tombstone TV. I am your host, Bullet Bun Awesome. Folks, if you like the content, subscribe, comment, share below. Oh my god, this match is scheduled for 1 fall, folks. It is the 9th, the final Contenders qualification matchup. And this man is no stranger to the big time, no stranger to big matches, to main events, no stranger to Major Attraction. This is Ultimo Thunder. Ultimo Thunder was in the main event of Violent Night. But to get to there, we have to go back. Ultimo Thunder feuded long and hard with Dragon Noir, resulting in a Future Shot title match. And when Dragon Noir went on to win Contenders 5, Ultimo Thunder returned and announced he was using the Future Shot to insert himself into that Hell in a Cell main event and made it a triple threat match, taking the limelight, a bit of shine off Dragon Noir. And folks, wouldn't you know it, Ultimo Thunder's opponent for tonight, of course, it would have to be, this is Dragon Noir. The French phenom Dragon Noir must be seeing red after what has transpired here the last 4 or 5 weeks of Tombstone TV and a championship wrestling series. Dragon Noir went on to win Contenders 5 and had an opportunity to go 1-on-1 at Violent Night pay-per-view against Major Attraction, the CWS World Heavyweight Champion. And just the week before on Tombstone TV, Ultimo Thunder, long-standing rival of Dragon Noir, returned to CWS after a hiatus, lost a tag team match as a mystery partner for Dragon Noir ahead of Violent Night, and then announced his intention to cash in that Future Shot briefcase, taking the singles Hell in a Cell match between Dragon Noir and Major Attraction and making it a triple threat match in the main event of the pay-per-view instead. Dragon Noir having his singles opportunity snatched away at the last moment. only for Ultimo Thunder to actually be the one in the matchup to take the pin and to cost Dragon Noir the opportunity at the title again. Dragon was 1 second away from breaking up that pin. To Ultimo Thunder's credit though, he just took advantage of the opportunity in front of him and then ate a load of chair shots and a sledgehammer shot to the gut, which kept him down. Major Attraction had to resort to that level of violence, the most violent night of the year, to win the match. And the referee rings the bell, and now it's Ultimo Thunder in his quick feet off the mat, taking the fight to Dragon Noir. You all saw what these guys had to say about each other on social media the last week. On radio interviews, Ultimo Thunder and Dragon Noir just absolutely sick of each other, hate the fact their paths keep crossing. Even though I think it's a shame, they teamed so well in that losing effort. Dragon Noir now ducking out of the way of that super kick, and Dragon whipping Thunder, and look at that, making Thunder eat a knee to the face. These guys know each other just so well, and Dragon goes for a springboard DDT, and Thunder manages to evade it, only to take too much time taunting. And now Noir with Thunder up on the ropes. I'm going to take a quick drink there, folks. Dragon Noir whipping Thunder off the ropes, and look at this arm drag takeover, and look at the athleticism of Dragon Noir. A big right hand to the top of the head of Ultimo Thunder. Thunder now rolls to the outside. Dragon looks like he's measuring Thunder here for something big. And look at this, over the top rope, a somersault senton out to the floor, taking Thunder off of his feet. Dragon now measuring, and Thunder evades it, and look at this, driver outside on the floor, the Thunder driver. I mean, Ultimo driver was right there. Maybe it's the Ultimo driver, and a big back suplex. Dragon Noir's shoulders hit the floor. That's a thin mat out there, folks. These guys doing battle right in front of the Championship Wrestling Series logos, in front of the barricades, right in front of the poster for Stadium Royale, that upcoming pay-per-view free premium event. We're about a week and a half away from this one, folks, and the card is already starting to take shape. We know that these guys are competing, and look at this, Ultimo Thunder with a springboard forearm taking Dragon Noir down center. The ring, he's got a cover at a 1. We got a 2, and a kick out at 2 by Dragon Noir. As I say, folks, the Stadium Royale card starting to take shape. And look at this, Dragon Noir turning the tides of that abdominal stretch, manages to change momentum, and look at this kick to the gut and a suplex. Oh my god, just driving Thunder into the mat. Dragon Noir absolutely sick of Thunder, and look at this, another, oh, like a suplex driver. Dragon now gets to cover. We've got a 1, 2, and that's all she wrote, folks. Dragon Noir putting Ultimo Thunder to bed with that Dragon driver. Dragon must be absolutely done at this point with Thunder. Will their paths cross again? Who knows, folks? Thunder is outside, right in front of my desk here, and I can hear him. He is beside himself, fuming. Thunder wanted this to be his shot. Will Dragon Noir go on to win another Contenders match? Will we get our first back-to-back winner of Contenders matches? There's no Future Shop briefcase at play at the moment, folks. More on that coming soon. This has been the end of part 3. Your winner, Dragon Noir. Come back. You know what we got next. We've got women's #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships. That match is next. It's Beach Force. It's the Lord's Angels. Come back for part 4. This is part 4 of episode 23, Tombstone TV. And this is your #1 contenders match for the Women's Tag Team Championships here at CWS. Introducing first, one member of Beach Force. This is Gale Force. Gale Force fancies herself something of a superhero to the CWS universe, folks. To all the fans out there, She wants to take these tag team titles along with her partner and be a team fans can be proud to have as champions. Gale Force hoping that her and her partner Sandy can go on to win tonight and become the #1 contenders. Get that pay-per-view title match against the Dancers. Here we are, folks, the partner of Gale. Yes. This right here, folks, is Sandy Beach. Sandy Beach. Such a fan favorite here at CWS. Since arriving on the scene here, Championship Wrestling Series, Sandy Beach has been a fan favorite. She's really likable, kind, she's a great time for the fans. Puts in a great showing every single time. And what I like about Beach Force, folks, is they saw a gap in the division. There was the team of the Dancers, we had the team of First Response and the Angels. And they saw a gap there, women's singles division, overcrowded, oversaturated, and decided that they'd team up. Opportunities for pay-per-view events and opportunities for gold. Aplenty in the women's tag division, and folks, look at this. Let me introduce you to the Lords, Angels, Faith, and Grace, the former and inaugural CWS Women's Tag Team Champions. And they're being escorted to the ring, folks, by the Lord himself. Lord N. Xavier is back after getting his head kicked in at the Violent Night pay-per-view in that grudge match, that bitter brawl between Dr. Dermot Allergy and Lord, where the Doctor stomped the Lord's head into the mat. And here we go, folks, straight away off the bat, a springboard drop kick. Gale Force takes Grace down. Grace head to foot in black, Faith in the silver out on the Angel. The Lord has the Devil and the Angel on his shoulders. And look at Grace now, standing on the hair of Gale Force and just wrenching the arms up. You're not going to win a match like that, but you will annoy your opponent into making a mistake. Now Faith is legal, and Faith whips Gale Force right out of the ring, right next to the Lord here. Faith now on the top rope, just to make a tag to prove she can. Grace now legal again, Gale Force and Grace, and look at this right hand. Grace whipping Gale off those ropes. Oh, shoulder tackle, neither woman goes down, and a clothesline. This time Gale Force taking Grace off her feet, and a stomp across the face. And look at that 2-foot drop kick to the face of Grace, and a kick out at 1. Grace breaks up the pinfall attempt. Gale now, look at this, a slingshot stunner to the outside, taking Faith down off the apron, but it was enough for Grace to get the advantage. And look at this, dropkick again to the knee of Grace. Gale Force takes her down and gets enough time to tag in Sandy Beach. Sandy now legal for the first time in this matchup, and manages to evade that leaping forearm from Grace. Sandy up to the second rope. See what I mean, folks? She just loves to taunt the crowd, to rile them up. She is a fan favorite. And here with the snap mare measures Grace, and look at that, leaps over, dragging the head forward. And now Sandy, oh my god, Sandy with a toe pay to the outside, and a massive miscommunication between Gale Force and Sandy, because Gale managed to pull Grace out of the way. Sandy face planted into the floor. That's got to have rocked Sandy somewhat. And look, it's as if she doesn't know who's legal, attacking both of the Angel sisters. Oh, evades the dropkick and answers back with a kick. Gets her punch caught, and now Faith dropping Sandy Beach to the flat of her back. This thing is back and forth here, folks. Sandy makes the tag. Gale Force now legal. Thank you for joining us at Tombstone TV. Thank you for joining us at Championship Wrestling Series. And look again with that springboard drop kick. Gale Force takes Faith down. Hope you guys can come back for the Stadium Royale. About a week and a half away from that one. As Gale tags in Sandy, and look again, look at this offense. Sandy now legal, but it looks like Faith got the time to take the tag. Grace now in behind Sandy, and look at this. Grace now in control, stamping on the hair of Sandy Beach, right in front of her sister Faith, with the Lord egging her on from the outside. Bouncing that of Sandy off that top turnbuckle, and then now Faith gets tagged in, and we're going to get some Lord's Angels offense here. And look at that with the top rope assist. But Sandy gets right back up and takes Faith off her feet with a series of chops, slaps, and a clothesline. But Faith now just rolls to the outside, and she's taunting the crowd herself. Gale Force now slides to the outside, and look at that forearm to the back of the head. Gale Force goes down. Look at this. Grace attacking Gale. And now Faith and Gale Force going back and forth in the ring here. Look at this. Using the leg of Gale to just drive the face of Faith into the mat. The Lord's Angels not 100% at the races here, but look at that forearm taking Gale down, and we've got a cover here, folks. We got one, and Sandy Beach is in at one to break up the count. Only to get launched out of the ring by Grace. Faith driving the elbow into the leg of Gale Force. Faith just absolutely manhandling Gale Force here. Look at this up, and she's going to do a knee breaker. And a cover off the knee breaker. Ref counts one, and a kick out one by Gale Force. I was just saying the Angels didn't seem to be at the races, but folks, they are in total control of this one right now. Hoping to get their rematch against the Dancer Sisters for those CWS Tag Team Championships of the World in the women's division. They lost at the Violent Night. Dancers become the second ever champs, and I know the Angels would love to become two-time champs. Look at this. Gale again leaps into the air and just driving the head of Faith down to the mat and stretching the legs out here. Gale makes the tag. Sandy Beach now legal. We have Faith and Sandy can't knock her down, goes for a shoulder tackle, unable to knock her off her feet. Look at that for a lovely suplex. These stomps onto the arm of Sandy, and now a cover right in front of the Lord here. We got a one. And a kick out at one. Sandy Beach not going to lose title opportunity like that. Not that easy, at least. Suplex dead center of the ring. Sandy Beach flat of her back. Faith over to her sister now, makes the tag, and Grace now legal. And definitely the freshest woman in the matchup. Grace misses with a basement dropkick though, favoring that lower back, and now Sandy goes for a basement dropkick of her own. Misses that one. Faith gets the tag. Sandy and Faith again back and forth, and look at this. Look at that. The Angels DDT. We got a one and a kick out at one. Gale also in to break that one up. Faith looking to make the tag. Sister Grace now legal. And look at this. the power, and oh my god, Sandy gets out from behind and chop block takes Grace down. Sandy dragging Grace back to the corner of Beach Force, bouncing the head off that top turnbuckle right in front of her tag team partner, and makes the tag to Gail. Gail, Sandy, double team action here, whips Grace off the ropes, and look at that big back body drop, taking Grace Angels down. Gail now climbing to the top, and look at that, Gail goes for a leg drop, a famouser maybe from the top, and misses wildly. Grace gets out of the ring, targets Sandy. Sandy evades it, and now Sandy answers back with the DDT outside on the floor. And look at this, Gail taking the fight now to Faith. And another sling shot stunner off the top rope, bouncing Faith out to the outside. And Gail looked like she was measuring Grace here, but Sandy wouldn't just get out of her way. As good as these individuals are, their teamwork isn't really on par. There's a lot of room to improve here, the team at Beach Force. And look at that reverse DDT outside on the floor. Faith gets driven into the mat and pops right back up. Gail and Grace now. Look at this. Grace answering Gail with a right. Gail fighting back with an elbow. The Lord forced to watch on, and look, Gail Force with the DDT driving Grace Angels into the mat. Gail Force, you can hear her now telling me and my friends Sean Shaunerson and Carl Briscoe Regan that she's got the win in the bag, and immediately eats a big right hand. Grace throwing Gail back to the ring. Is she going to prevent the tag? No. Sandy gets the tag. Sandy Beach now legal. And Grace taking Sandy down center of the ring. Angels tag, Faith legal. Faith and Sandy together again. Sandy whips Faith into the corner. And look at this, second rope assisted springboard DDT. We got a 1, 2, and Sandy has her pinfall attempt broken up by Grace popping in to break the count up, saving Faith's bacon for another day. Saving Faith even. And now Sandy scooping Faith up, and look at that. Again, Sandy just dropping Faith again and again, evading that flying forearm from Faith. Look at this, step through, wraps around, grabs the arms, and oh, this remove's very familiar to the Lords and his Angels. That's the maneuver that Dr. Dermot Allergy hit on Lord and Xavier at Violent Night to knock him out, get him off TV for over 2 weeks. The Lord's only making his return to television tonight. He must be cleared for action, or else we wouldn't allow him ringside. Sandy is absolutely flattened Faith Angels right now. Gets the tag into Gail Force. And Gail Force, look at that, for a standing moonsault splash. Measuring Faith. Misses with the kick. Faith rolls through, but this kick connects with that one. Gail now taking Faith for a walk, leaping off the top, and look at this. The over-the-top arm drag and a cover. We've got a none count because Grace gets in to break the count up and save the matchup for her and her sister again. Gail Force and Faith now fighting in the corner. Gail from the top rope. What's she going for here? Look at this top rope Hurricane Rana. Gail Force feeling the force of that one. She's surely got this one in the bag. Faith locked up. Sandy on the outside, keeping Grace occupied with the suplex. And that's it, folks. Your winners and new #1 contenders for the CWS Women's Tag Team Championships. Beach Force are going on, getting their first opportunity at the CWS Women's Tag Team Championships. We're going to have Beach Force versus the Dancers on pay-per-view. Upcoming at the Stadium Royale in about a week and a half. Great win for Sandy Beach. Great win for Gale Force. Folks, come back. We're going to have another 3-way men's matchup. See who else can qualify for that match on next week's episode. We also have a women's battle royal qualifier, and we're also going to have a men's 2v2. That's right, the main event this evening is a tag team matchup. We're going to come back and see who's involved in all these matches, folks. Please come back for part 5, episode 23. This is part 5 of episode 23 of Tombstone TV, folks. I am Bullet But Awesome. I am your host. We are well and truly on the road to Stadium Royale. This is another triple threat matchup, the winner of which will go on to next week's show, where they will face off against Joey Picone Jr., who won his event last week, and also Tommy Lode, who won last week. So Joey Picone Jr. and Tommy Lode versus the winner of this matchup in a triple threat match on episode 24, Tombstone TV. And the aim of that match is simple, folks. The aim of that match will be just to survive. Only the man who gets pinned will not make it to the pay-per-view. That's right, Will Richards defends his Intercontinental Championship in a triple threat match at the Stadium Royale. Whoever wins on episode 24 and whoever does not lose on episode 24 and Will Richards will make up that triple threat match. So it's very important that for each of these competitors that they can get through tonight, but you have to win this matchup to have a shot at getting to next week's show. So folks, first up in this one, Lord and Xavier, without faith, without grace. Let's see how the Lord can survive his first match back since that injury. And now, folks, on his way to the ring, representing the rock band Wild Tiger. This is Nick Sparks. And folks, we gotta ask the question, if Nick Sparks wins this, will he be able to move on and face his buddy, his fellow bandmate Will Richards, who's also in Wild Tiger, the Intercontinental Champion? That would be an interesting development. Let's see what happens here, folks, as Will Richards takes on Lord and Xavier, and who could be the final entrant in this one, folks? Lord and Xavier being mocked here by Will Richards, mimicking the man, and his entrance, that's going to stir up some blood between these guys. And now Sparks back to his usual self. He's waiting with bated breath like the rest of us. And folks, it's the Golden Ace himself. Mr. Zachary Evans is the third man in this triple threat match, and he's hoping to get to next week's show to win an opportunity to get to the Stadium Royale. He's hoping for back-to-back shots at that Intercontinental Championship. We saw Zachary Evans teamed up with St. James Park, last month on Tombstone TV to defeat the team of Will Richards and Fabian Nils in an odd tag team matchup. But the Golden Ace and St. James Park did in fact win, which forced the singles matchup between Fabian Nils and Will Richards into a fatal 4-way with St. James Park and Zachary Evans, but neither man was successful in that one. Will Richards was able to retain his title. Everybody on the way to the ring today mocking each other. They all mimic the same entrance, folks. I'm sure that's just for one night only. The Golden Ace is now in the ring and ready. So we know Lord and Xavier, Nick Sparks, and Zachary Evans. Bell rings, and this one's off. We've got the Lord and Sparks. Whip into the corner. Referee takes an almighty bump already. And look at this military press. Zachary Evans taking no prisoners. But he's up into a bear hug. And Sparks now with the bear hug applied. Lord and Xavier with the right hand to the back of Sparks. And now it's Evans driving the elbows and a big ear clap takes Sparks down. Evans now, kick to the gut and a neck breaker to the Lord. Sparks with a clubbing blow to the back. And a sleeper hold applied here, Lord and Xavier. But Evans has to break it up, and a running clothesline takes Lord and Xavier off his feet. Zachary Evans just needs to focus his attacks right now. Look at this, a clothesline. Step over, picks him back up. Clothesline again, step over, picks him up, and folks, another clothesline taking the Lord off his feet. Axe handles across the face of Zachary Evans, but he does not go down. Now he's got a big suplex on Sparks. He's just holding him. Turns to talk some trash to Lord and Xavier. And Evans now drops Sparks with that stalled suplex, but eats a gut punch, reversal. Evans now, Lord and Xavier on his shoulders, carries him over to the turnbuckle and drops some snake eyes across that top turnbuckle. Meanwhile, Sparks is on the outside getting a steel chair. A steel equalizer here with the strength of Evans. And oh my god, a big crack to the back of the head. Evans down, and Sparks gets in a roll to the outside. But look at that, folks. Evans stays on his feet, climbing back into the ring now that the chair is not in hand. And he's picked Sparks up onto his shoulders and rolls through. Evans now scooping Sparks straight up. Running power slam onto that chair. Running power slam onto the chair and a big time spine buster. Zachary Evans with the cover off the spine buster. 1 and a kick. Well, it wasn't a kick out, it was a breakup of the pinfall by Sparks, who answers back and spears Zachary Evans. Sparks playing a bit of air guitar, and Zach Evans scoops the Lord up, who gets out of it and on an eye rake, but Evans pushes him away. Elbow to the back, whips off the ropes, and look at that corkscrew elbow. But Evans stays on his feet, folks. He does not go down. Look at this. Innovation and tag team offense here, and the Lord gets clotheslined one more time. His head clipped that chair. This might be it, folks. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. The Lord must be saying his prayers, folks, to stay in this one. Evans with the chair. Steel chair to the face of the Lord. Steel chair to the face of the Lord. Sparks trying to drag Evans over to the ropes. What's he got in mind here, folks? Steel chair. Crack to the face of Evans. Crack to the back of Evans. Lord now. Oh, bit of a miscommunication there, man. Neither man able to get out of the way of each other. They just collided. But Evans rolled to the outside off those steel chair shots and stayed on his feet, folks. And he's got Sparks up again. Another stalling suplex. Evans talking a bit of trash. And now he's going to release Sparks flat to the mat. Lord tries to club away at Evans here, folks. Finally taking Evans down. Driving the knee of Zachary Evans into the mat. And a big right hand again taking Evans down flat to the mat. Kick to the gut. The Lord now looking for a power bomb. Oh my god, he just hit Evans with the power bomb. That's Evans' own move. The golden power bomb. And now Sparks kicking the Lord to the gut. Evans lays flat. And a shoulder tackle from Nick Sparks takes the Lord down. And steel chair to the face of the Lord. And again. And a third one to the Lord. Rocked by the steel chair. Looks like there might be something wrong here with Nicholas Sparks' arms, folks. They look a bit potentially broken. Big time clothesline. Zachary Evans takes Sparks down. Zach Evans whipping Sparks off the ropes. Shoulder tackle. Neither man goes down. And a DDT from Nick Sparks to Zachary Evans. Scoops Sparks up, and a big butt buster and a cover here, folks. 1 and a kick out at 1 by Sparks, who still seems to be having difficulty with that arm. Zach Evans now just absolutely manhandling Sparks. And look at this from military press. He's got these push-ups. And he's released Zachary Evans. And a cover attempt here, folks. 1. Lord and Xavier now flattening Sparks. Evans now back up from the outside, back into the ring. Lord focused on Sparks. Evans seems like he's going to give a chance here. See what happens. Evans targeting the Lord. Lord targeting Evans. Catches the Golden Ace by the back of the head and whips him head first into the mat. Lord and Xavier whips Sparks, and a clothesline taking Sparks down, and a running shoulder tackle. Golden Ace takes Lord down, and now steel chair to the Lord, who evades it and gets a running bulldog. Lord wants to beat the love of the Lord into you. Applies a seatbelt hold, but a good right hand from Sparks to the back of the head. Lord and Xavier, and the Lord went low with that one, folks. Bulldog. Zachary Evans bulldogs the Lord, takes him down. Kick to the gut of Sparks. And now Zachary Evans just manhandling Sparks. Launches him into the corner. Gets into that top turnbuckle. Some open hand slaps. But Sparks manages to kick the Golden Ace away. This thing's back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, look at that. Innovation here and manhandling. The Golden Ace now is the one in that corner as Lord and Xavier drives elbows to the face of the Golden Ace. Snapmare in the face stomp. Now the Lord looks to be going to the top rope, which is unusual. Sparks goes to knock him off and misses wildly, and look at this top rope knee. Folks, I reckon that's a weighted knee. A lot of the Lord's offense has become knee-based, and it wasn't always. Sparks now, big pump handle, and drops the Lord, goes to the outside, but Lord's back to his feet, evades the kick, and a right hand from the Lord, a kick to the gut, a right to the midsection, and a right to the face. The Lord now going for the cover, and Zach Evans doing all he can do to break up the count. Zachary Evans eats a DDT from the Lord. You know, folks, the Lord likes to finish matches with that DDT, and now there's a 1, 2, and Sparks is quick enough to break it up. Kick exchanges here between Sparks and the Lord, and now looks like the pump handle power slam. Sparks uses that to end matches. He's won many a match with that one. Zachary Evans now fighting out, and instead of targeting Sparks, he targets Lord and Xavier, scoops him up. Sidewalk slam to Lord and Xavier. Sparks now measuring, but Zachary Evans, the right hand again, and a spine buster to Sparks. Zachary Evans goes for the cover on Lord and Xavier. 1, 2, 3. That's it, folks. Your winner, and moving on to the triple threat match in episode 24. We now know it's going to be Joey Picone Jr. taking on Tommy Load, taking on Zachary Evans. And the aim of the game will be to survive. The winner and the man not involved in the victory will both move on to Stadium Royale to complete in a triple threat match versus Will Richards for the Intercontinental Championship. Folks, thank you for joining us here on Tombstone TV. Come back for part 6, episode 23. Thank you. This is part 6 of episode 23, Tombstone TV. Bullet Von Awesome here. Folks, I want to say thank you very much for joining us. Please like, subscribe, comment below. This is our women's Battle Royal qualification matchup. We're looking for 6 women to go to a Battle Royal match at the Stadium Royale. This matchup set for one fall. Let me introduce you first. You'll know her from her victory at Violet Night, where she teamed with Prince Toro against the Cursed Ones, Wanda Curse and Killian Curse, and she was successful in that bout. Folks, this is El Dorado. The L stands for Lindsay, folks. That's Lindsay Dorado. She reckons that the look of gold would go well around her waist. There'll be a number one contenders match. And folks, here we have aerial wrestler in the black and the green, the former women's champion here at CWS, the second ever women's champ at CWS. She's lost that championship to Ren at Violet Night in a submissions match. She was forced to tap out to Ren. Ariel not happy about that, and also not happy about not getting a rematch, but she needs to qualify. We know that the Wildcat Kitty Richards won the contenders match at Violet Night, so that sets us up. Ren, Kitty Richards at Stadium Royale, but we're going to need a number one contender for when that show is over, which is what the Battle Royal is setting up. So one of these women will qualify here tonight. We've got big time aerial wrestler and El Dorado. Referee rings the bell. Suplex, the tag team partner of aerial wrestler, on the outside looking in, watching on. Look at this basement dropkick from El Dorado, and an open hand slap to the back of the head of Ariel. Clubbing blow to the back of the head of Ariel again. El Dorado stomping on the back of the arm. Stomping again on the arm of aerial wrestler. Choke hold, and look at that big release slam. Ariel bouncing her head off the mat. Big right hand. And a German suplex right in front of Suplex. El Dorado with the knee to the face of Ariel. And now El Dorado climbing up to the top. El Dorado using the top rope against aerial wrestler. Top rope drop kick. And El Dorado with the cover. This could be it, folks. One. Kick out at one. Aerial wrestler found a reserve there somewhere, folks. Big kick to the top of the head. And Ariel now with the springboard moonsault from that second rope. Ariel not completely out of this one, it seems. El Dorado dropped down, leapfrog, and look at this, a big flapjack splash. Look at this, Ariel rolls through. We've got a cover, we've got a one, and a kick out at one. Ariel misses with that big kick to the face, gets whipped into the turnbuckle and gets a spear for good measure. And now El Dorado just lifting up and releasing Ariel. Big flat back bump and a right hand electric chair. El Dorado front face drop from the top of that electric chair. 1, 2, 3. That's it, folks. El Dorado picks up the win against aerial wrestler. Very quick, brief encounter. Ariel fuming. Suplex fuming. But it's El Dorado who has qualified. Amazing. El Dorado is the woman who has qualified from this match. She will go to the Stadium Royale for that 6-woman Battle Royale match. Are we looking at a future number one contender here in El Dorado? Find out with me in just a week and a half, folks, at Stadium Royale. But before that, we have to get to the end of tonight's show. We have the main event coming up next, and we have a tag team matchup, folks. Management decided that they wanted to shake up the tag team title picture. So last week we had two teams who've not yet competed for the championships. Las Bestias Locas against the Grim Reapers, Torque and Motor. And we know that it was the Reapers who were successful on the night. Torque and Motor got that win. Tonight it's going to be two more teams who've not yet had a chance to face the champs for the tag straps. The winner of this goes on to face Torque and Motor next week to become number one contenders. So we will have a fresh matchup on pay-per-view. We just got to get there, folks. Thanks for joining us so far. Come back for our main event, part 7, men's tag team matchup, main event. Welcome back. This is the main event of Tombstone TV, episode 23. And this is a tag team matchup, folks. Introducing first, on your right in yellow is Carlos Reyes. And on your left in silver and black, the protege to Carlos Reyes. This is the Platinum Kid, and this team are the Platinum Kings. The Platinum Kings, ready to face any team that management can throw at them, folks. You'll know at this stage, to prevent the Tag Team Championship scene getting stale, a mini tournament has been set up to crown new #1 contenders, and by new I mean a first time ever. And folks, this is gonna be an excellent contest. With the history between these four men, this could be something really special. In the white hoodie is Jacques Hammer. We know that Jacques Hammer and the Platinum Kid have been going back and forth for weeks. Wins and losses apiece. And alongside Jacques Hammer is the former CWS Intercontinental Champion, the former CWS Light Heavyweight Champion, and now looking for an opportunity to become the CWS World's Tag Team Champion. Fabian Nils, the team of Hammer and Nils. We've seen the Manners, the Walkers, the Castles time and time again. We're looking for a fresh matchup for Big Ben and for Royal Albert Tall, the team of the Pure Bloods, the team of Big and Tall. We know the Grim Reapers will be facing the winner of this match next week on Tombstone TV episode 24. It's up to these four men to decide who those competitors are going to be, as Carlos Reyes takes a fight to Jacques Hammer and makes the early tag to the Platinum Kid, who eats a vicious chop from Jacques Hammer. I'm really liking the new look of the Platinum Kid, Carlos Reyes. Great new looks. Platinum Kid has serioused up an awful lot in recent months since he's gone under the wing of Carlos Reyes, since he's taken on to the tutelage of, I suppose, his new nearest father-in-law. His mother is dating Carlos Reyes, and as Jacques Hammer makes the tag to Fabian Nils. Fabian Nils and Platinum Kid. Look at this. Look at that for a Hurricane Rana. The Platinum Kid taking Fabian Nils down. Grapples him from behind, and look at this. Dragging Nils to the floor and stomping across the face of the former Intercontinental and Light Heavyweight Champion. Platinum Kid now makes the tag. Keeps himself fresh. Carlos Reyes now legal. Reyes driving the face of Fabian Nils into his right knee and kicking him into the lower back. The veteran Reyes picking a body part and targeting it, going for the cover. We've got a one and a kick out. One Fabian Nils will not be pinned off of multiple kicks to the back, but look at this suicide dive to the outside. Carlos Reyes with that tope, taking Fabian Nils down off of his feet. Looks like the old dog's got a few tricks still in the back pocket, as Fabian's punches just knock him into that Stadium Royale barricade. And folks, we are just a week away from Stadium Royale. These guys are all facing off, trying to get to become the #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships, so that they can fight Big and Tall at that event. But they have to win this one and go to next week's episode, face the Grim Reapers. Look at this, Fabian Nils, the agility to get out of these attacks, and the ground and pound. Fabian Nils absolutely just squashing Reyes here. Refs count up to 9. Both men need to get back into the ring, and they do just before the count of 10. Reyes whips Nils off the ropes, bounce back, and look at this shoulder tackle, but neither man goes down. Fabian now capture suplex, launches Carlos Reyes over his head. Fabian looking to get back to his corner to tag in Jacques Hammer, who's had a hell of a time resting on the outside. And look at this shoulder tackle again. Neither man goes down. You'd think that Reyes, having the size advantage, would get him down, and he does with the belly to belly and a cover kick out at one Jacques Hammer. Still a lot of fight left in him too. Big club to the back. Carlos Reyes with the swinging neck breaker to take Jacques Hammer down. Reyes has had to watch week in and week out as Platinum Kid takes on Jacques Hammer. We know he's desperate to get his hands on him himself, but look, as soon as Platinum Kid called for the tag, he answered. Reyes is giving the young man every opportunity to succeed or fail. Look at this Hurricane Rana again. You'll see the speed of the Platinum Kid. It's his major strength. And the springboard, look, the head scissors. We've seen this head scissors spin, taking Hammer down. And now Platinum Kid goes for the arm and is wrenching at the arm of Hammer. And look again, quick, frequent tags. The Platinum Kings are becoming quite the unit. But Hammer and Nils are not to be counted out either, as Jacques Hammer drags Reyes to the corner. And now Hammer and Nils with some tag team offense here. They whip Reyes off the ropes, bounce back, and look at this big back body drop. Carlos Reyes hits the mat, but Pele kicks Nils. And now he's in control. Scoops Nils up and back breaker. And there's got to be a little something added to that one, folks, considering the knee brace across that right knee of Reyes. It's got to hurt that bit more, probably for both men, as Reyes scoops him up. And look at this pile driver, sit out pile driver. That's got to be it. Carlos Reyes with the sit out pile driver. And now he's going for this patented sharpshooter. Reyes with the sharpshooter, but he's got to be too close to the ropes here, surely. No, Jacques Hammer in to break up the submission attempt. Reyes, you'd think with his experience, would have known to pull Fabian Nils further from the ropes, but count of one and Hammer is in to break up the count. Reyes turns his attention to Jacques Hammer, and look at this. Look at this powerbomb over the top rope and outside to the floor, flattening Hammer. And Fabian Nils just absolutely shoving Reyes into that top turnbuckle. Reyes somehow back to his feet, dragging Fabian Nils back to the corner of the Platinum Kings, where he bounces his head off the top turnbuckle. This thing has got vicious, folks. Both men unleashing a fury that I have not seen out of either of them. And again, that big, vicious backbreaker. Platinum Kid now legal in, and he's watching Fabian Nils crawl across the ring, trying to make it back to the Hammer and Nils corner. Kid elbow into the inside of that knee, and now to the top rope. The Platinum Kid with the Platinum Splash, and he misses. Fabian has well and truly scouted the Platinum Splash. He's seen Jacques Hammer hit the Hammer Splash so often, and he's seen Platinum Kid do it. Look at this. Nail gun, and he's got it. One kick out at one. Reyes is the one to break up that count. Now it's Fabian Nils going to the top rope, measuring Platinum Kid, and from the top, a diving shoulder tackle, taking the Platinum Kid off his feet. And now Fabian Nils is going for the cover. Reyes in the ring, and it looks like Reyes, just in the nick of time, breaks up the count, saving the match for the Platinum Kings. It was as if Reyes couldn't make his way around the referee, and in the end had to leap over her. And now look at this. Platinum Kid has found a second wind here. And look at this. Uppercuts followed up with a drop kick. Platinum Kid all psyched up and fired up now as Jacques Hammer makes the tag to Fabian Nils. And folks, it's back to these two. But Hammer, he's got him up. And look at this. Oh my God, Jacques Hammer with the Jacques attack, just absolutely flattening Platinum Kid to the mat. And the disrespect to just walk across the face of this young man. Dropping the knee into the flexed bicep. And now applying this choke and an elbow to the face. The veteran instincts of Carlos Reyes now trying to psych Platinum. Oh my God, and from the top rope, Hammer Splash, and Carlos Reyes saves the match again for his team after the connection from Jacques Hammer to the Platinum Kid off that Hammer Splash. Carlos Reyes had to break up the pinfall attempt. Platinum Kid is worse for wear here, folks. Hammer slamming all his weight, and now a chin breaker from Hammer. Platinum Kid, Hurricane Rana, no, he is caught. Jacques Hammer power bombs the Platinum Kid into next week with that one. He scooped him up, suplex, dead center of the ring. Jacques Hammer makes the tag. Platinum Kid makes the tag as well. Carlos Reyes, Fabian Nils, This time the shoulder tackle is effective, and Nils takes Reyes down, seated, senton attack. Nils now turning his back on Reyes, and Reyes whips him off the rope. Arm drag takeover, and Reyes going for the cover off of an arm drag takeover. This was any move will do, really, but Hammer is in to break up the count before the referee's hand even struck one. Reyes whipped Hammer to the outside, evades that clothesline, right hands, gets caught with the gut punch. Fabian now in control, whips Reyes off the ropes and shoulder tackles Carlos Reyes over the top rope and outside to the floor. Fabian is measuring Reyes here. He's gone to the outside to follow him, but Reyes now playing possum, sneaks up behind, drives that elbow into the back. Fabian bites back with an elbow of his own. Referees counting both men out as Fabian Nils takes Carlos Reyes down and attacks him with this ground and pound offense, creating a little separation here. Fabian Nils forced Reyes to chase him, and now he's got him with a suplex outside on the floor. Folks, those are thin mats outside on the floor. They do not offer an awful lot of padding. Fabian Nils now with the advantage throws Carlos Reyes back into the ring and eats a clothesline. Carlos Reyes firing back. So evenly matched here, folks. Look, Nails has him up. And look at this. Nail driver. Look at this. He's got the cover, and Platinum Kid in to save it for his team this time. Platinum Kid breaks it up before the ref could even count to one. Fabian Nils must be fuming because that move has finished many an opponent here on Tombstone TV. Fabian Nils now is dragging Carlos Reyes into the corner where he bounces his head off his top turnbuckle. Hammer now legal. And we're in for some more tag team offense. And look at this, folks. Big time splash in the corner. And a clothesline back out of it. Fabian Nils has to get out of the ring. But Carlos Reyes looks like he's taking his time. He's getting over here. He's trying to make that tag to the Platinum Kid. But a basement dropkick to the lower spine prevents that. Shockhammer makes the tag. Fabian now legal. Reyes right next to the Platinum Kid. Reach up, make the tag. Now he's eating a club and a stomp across the back. Fabian Nils prevented that tag. Ground and pound and watching, making Platinum Kid watch as he busts open the face of his mentor. Fabian dragging Reyes back to the Hammer and Nails corner. Bouncing the head off that top turnbuckle one more time. And again, folks, some tag team offense. Hammer and Nails whipping Reyes. And again, that big back body drop. Carlos Reyes taken down, and Hammer now watching as Reyes rolls to the outside. Hammer's got him measured. And Hammer now through the second and third rope with the suicide splash of his own. And he's taking Reyes down. Reyes not the only one who's got the outside dives in his arsenal, it seems. And Hammer took too long. Reyes steps up, spins. Inseguri takes Hammer down. Now it's Reyes throwing Hammer back into the ring. Reyes, Platinum Kid, talking here. And oh my God, they fantastic evasion there. Hammer thought he was going to get a cross body to the outside on both men, but both of the Platinum Kings got out of the way, and Hammer goes splat. Reyes scoop slam to Jackhammer on the outside, tossing Jackhammer back towards the ring. Surely this is Reyes' moment to take full advantage of the injury, the self-inflicted injury. And Jackhammer turned his attention back to the Platinum Kid, and now springboard cross body. Somehow Jackhammer has turned the tides of this one, even after that botched suicide dive to the outside and the big scoop slam. Hammer's just manhandling Reyes now after taking advantage of the Platinum Kid. Hammer and Nails from the top with a supported axe handle across that wrist. Fabian Nails big right hand, and he's got him up again. He's got that nail driver. Oh my God, folks, this could be it. Fabian Nails going to the top rope. Watch out for it, Reyes. Nails from the top, diving shoulder tackle. Takes Reyes off his feet. Platinum Kid in to break it up. Saving the match for the team one more time. Reyes rolls to the outside, and while Platinum Kid is checking on his mentor, Fabian Nils targets him with the spear to the outside. Fabian Nils now on the top rope. Leaps off shoulder tackle, takes the Platinum Kid to the ground. Carlos Reyes, look at this with the crucifix, taking Fabian Nils down on the outside, bashing his head off of that thin mat. Neck breaker, look at this, driving Fabian Nils into the mat. Carlos Reyes psyching himself up, folks. He thinks he has it. Scoops him up, but Fabian Nils backflips out of it and answers the right hand. Fabian Nils going back into the ring. Carlos following him up. Rescue up to 6. Carlos, the drop kick, taking Fabian Nils down off his feet and to the mat. Carlos Reyes dragging Fabian Nils to the center of the ring. This is anyone's match, folks. Which team can best the other? Carlos Reyes makes the tag. The Platinum Kid is now legal again. Platinum Kid, look at this, goes for that spinning forearm and misses. Somehow Fabian evaded that one, makes the tag. Jacques Hammer, Platinum Kid again. Look at this innovation. Hammer takes Kid down and scoops him up. Look at that for a suplex. Jacques Hammer, all power. This guy is lean muscle, folks. No frills. And look at this, just stomping across the face. And now Hammer to the top rope. Hammer splash connects on Platinum Kid yet again. Jacques Hammer now going for that cover. Reyes in to break up the count at 1. The referee has been too lenient with the rules, folks. Jacques Hammer to the top again, and another Hammer splash. Reyes again in to break up the count before the count of 1. Platinum Kid has been battered and bruised by this one, folks. Hammer makes the tag. Fabian Nils now legal, taking the fight to the Kid. Suplex again into the corner of Hammer and Nils, and now these multiple stomps across the chest. Platinum Kid must be seeing stars. Fabian Nils stomping away at the face of the Kid. Knees across that face. And again across the chest this time. Fabian bounces the head. Platinum Kid off that top turnbuckle. Makes the tag. We got some tag team offense. You've seen this earlier, folks. Look at this. The assist of the splash into that clothesline combination. Platinum Kid is center of the ring, but has the wherewithal to roll to the outside. And while Reyes is checking on him, eats a spear from Hammer. Now Reyes caught off guard. He went splat to the outside. Hammer taking the fight to Kid outside. Kid evades the stomp and answers back with the DDT to Hammer outside on the floor. Platinum Kid now whipping Jacques Hammer back into the ring. Platinum Kid enters himself, and look at this, a leaping swanton. Platinum Kid showing his flexibility and his agility, but took too much time and now eats a suplex. Thought Hammer was going to hook the leg there, but he released it. Jacques Hammer goes for that shin dropkick. And look at this for a head scissors. Head takedown. Platinum Kid choking at Hammer, but Hammer rolls through. Platinum knew when to release and answers back with the big right hand. Hammer goes down. Platinum Kid with a kick to the lower back of Jacques Hammer. Now it's Kid making the tag. Reyes now legal. And Hammer goes for that clothesline. Reyes evades it, and look at this. Reyes takes him down with the zigzag. Weight across the back of that arm. Hammer fighting back out of it with some straight air and kicks. Hammer turns his attention to the Platinum Kid. Look at this, launching himself over the top rope to deliver a DDT to the Platinum Kid. Reyes with a slingshot stunner to Fabian Nils. Surely this is going to end right here, folks. Look at that gut wrench. Hammer's got him up, and oh my God, Hammer's taking Reyes down. Reyes evades, low kicks, right hand, scoops him up, and a scoop slam in the corner of Hammer and Nails. Reyes is gonna go for the cover off of that scoop slam. He just needs the 3, but Hammer is too quick to get up. Reyes now takes the legs of Hammer, and he flips him into that sharpshooter, but he's too close to the ropes, right next to Fabian Nils, who gets that basement dropkick and breaks the submission up. Reyes again failing to take into account his ring positioning, and Fabian Nils able to break up the pin. Reyes with that power bomb to Jacques Hammer out of the corner. Low back kicks again, and Hammer somehow, someway kips up shoulder tackle. Neither man goes down, but both men are tired here. You can see it on them. Jacques Hammer with a low kick, and he's dragging Reyes again for the 3rd time into that corner. They make the tag. Tandem offense here again by Hammer and Nils. Look at this. Fabian Nils again taking Carlos Reyes down. Oh my good God. Nils with that screwdriver. I know he's got him up again. Look at that. That's the nail driver. Platinum Kid breaking it up again. And a shoulder tackle to the back. Fabian Nils fed up of this out of the Platinum King, is constantly breaking up the pins. Reyes, after seeing that assault, seems like he's fuming. Already bust up, gut wrench release, and he's taking the fight to Fabian. Look at that, twisting at the neck again of Fabian Nils. Carlos Reyes looks like this time he's going to step through. He's got the ring position taken care of, and Fabian Nils manages to survive long enough for Jacques Hammer to basement dropkick the submission and break up the hold. Carlos Reyes now driving the knee into the head of Fabian Nils, goes for the cover, and again Jacques Hammer in to break up the count. Reyes measuring Fabian Nils as Jacques Hammer has to watch on, and again suicide dive to the outside. I think he drove both his knees into the face of Fabian as he hit the ground. Kick to the back again. Carlos could probably just take the count-out victory at this point. And a leg drop outside. Carlos Reyes hits that leg drop on Fabian Nils. Just needs to get it back into the ring and go for that cover, I'm sure. Carlos up to the second rope, psyching up the crowd. Stomping again across the back of Fabian Nils. This has been a very competitive match, folks. You're listening to the voice of Bullet, and I also want to thank you for joining us at Championship Wrestling Series. Thank you for joining us at CWS at Tombstone TV, and be sure to join us for Stadium Royale. Fabian Nils turning the tide of this one, dragging Reyes back to the corner of Hammer. Nails one more time, bounces the head off that top turnbuckle. Another tag. This time whips Reyes off the ropes, and look at this. Belly to belly capture release suplex. Jacques Hammer is the one now psyching the crowd up, taunting them, attacking the fan favorites. Hammer says they're going to be the number one contenders, for Platinum Kid gets the tag. And look at this headlock takeover. Platinum Kid's got that headlock locked in, and Jacques Hammer rolls out of it. The Kid somehow manages to maintain the momentum. He's watching him. Look at this low kick off the ropes, and look at basement drop kick again. A boot to the head. Platinum Kid with a knee to the face of Jacques Hammer. We've seen Platinum Kid beat Hammer before. Look at that picture perfect drop kick and a cartwheel Platinum Kid is still in this thing, folks. We've seen him win against Hammer. We've seen him lose to Hammer. Look at this spear off the apron, knocking Fabian Nils to the mat. And again, we've got this headlock takeover. Platinum Kid has learned so much in the last few months here at Tombstone TV. He's really coming into his own under the tutelage, under the guidance of Carlos Reyes. It's great to see these guys forming such an effective tandem. And now Reyes and Hammer legal, and it's Reyes who eats the clothesline. Hammer takes him down, but Platinum Kid gets in to break up the count before the ref can count to 1. Hammer now bouncing off that second rope, slingshots back and gets a drop kick on Reyes, but evades the kick, and now both men evade each other. Reyes, he's got Hammer up, and again that sit-down pile driver. Reyes with the pile driver. Platinum Kid, Reyes make the tag. Plat now legal. Plat going to the top rope. I set firmly on Jacques Hammer. And look at the top rope moonsault. Platinum missed with the Platinum moonsault. Hammer managed to evade it, and now the momentum's with Hammer. Drags Kid back to Hammer and Nils' corner. Bounces Plat's head off that top turnbuckle. Fabian Nils, the gut kick to Plat Kid. And the shoulder block taking Platinum Kid down. Ref's got the cover. 1, 2, and Reyes is too slow. All of the brutality was too much. Platinum Kid was not able to handle all of these blow after blow after blow. And folks, again, I've told you before, it doesn't have to be the biggest, most deadly move in the arsenal. All you need to do is flatten the man for 3 seconds to the mat, and you can get a pinfall off of anything. You've seen Nils do it before, but I'm sure we'll see him do it again. And he's picked up the win this time. So next week, folks, we know we're going to have the team of the Grim Reapers versus Hammer and Nils in a number 1 contenders matchup for the men's tag team championships. Come back next week, folks. We have that and so much more. We're going to have 3 more women's qualification matches for this 6-way over-the-top battle royale at the Stadium Royale. We're going to have one of the women's tag champs facing off against one of the women's number 1 contenders for the tag team titles as well. We know we have Zachary Evans versus Tommy Lowe versus Joey Picone Jr. in that triple threat match. We're going to have the Grim Reapers versus Hammer and Nils in the number 1 contenders match. And folks, next week in the main event, we've got Contenders 6. We know 9 of the 10 entrants, plus a mystery entrant. We know it's going to be Killian Curse, Cara Del Diablo, Darrell Walker, St. James Park, Marshall Harts, Prince Toro, Travis Sanchez, Wrench M, and Dragon Noir, plus that mystery man. Find out who it's going to be next week on episode 24 of Tombstone TV. And after that, folks, we will be right there at Stadium Royale. So come back for more action here at Championship Wrestling Series, where wrestling is all fun and games. I've been Bullet and Awesome. You've been class. Thank you. Good night.